everybody. Hello, everybody. We're all here. Sorry for the little lateness.
I was talking about math.
She was, and I was very excited that she was telling me about these things. I said, well, why can't you tell me these things, like, later on?
There.
And not, like, right before the stream starts. Anyway, hello, Arty friends. Do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Otherwise, I do not know that you're here. We like to know that you're here because we're an Arty-friendly bunch. And if you want to hang out in the background, that's totally fine. Please give those thumbsy upsies because that is the numero uno way to support this here thing that we do called PM Artist Studio. By the way, this is P and I over there.
M over there.
Patricia, Izzy,
Mariah.
And together,
we are PM Artist Studio. You didn't sing.
I know.
Okay, so as we promised you the other day, we wanted to show you the drawings that Izzy had been doing because they're super cute and very funny. And so she's here to help explain those. And then I will say hello to everybody. Or should I just do that real quick? I'll just do that real quick. Let's say hello to everybody. Make sure you get those pinky hello hands in there. See? Participants, we have Art Curious by MNW, that's Miriam. Carrie's here. Cookie Wookie, that's Mo. Cynthia, Dana, Elizabeth, Ellen, Griffin Shell, that's Rhonda. Holly's here. Ray Like Gray, Ellen B, Elizabeth Folcomer, I think y'all popped in there. Holly, Janice, Jim, Jocelyn, Carla, Kathy, Lizanne, Marguerite, Michelle, Monica. Monkey's here. Hey, Monkey. Panka, Robin, Sophia, Star Traveler, that's Linda, and Susan Fernandez, SWL, that's Sherry, the Shelly Studio, that's Margle, and I think some other people popped in there, and I will just have to get back at y'all over here in the chat part. All right, so there's that. I'm going to go top side, because her drawings are over there, or do you want to hold them up?
I want to hold them up.
Okay.
Hold them up. Ready for number one, Mommy?
Yes, don't do like baby talk.
It's number one, Mommy.
Say it with authority. Yes, that's me. See, look at that. That's pretty good. Shirt's even close to what I got on today.
It is. Oh, yeah.
All right. Do you want to tell them anything about that?
Okay. No.
And then next up, Gigi. Number two,
Gigi.
We didn't get the glasses on. I promised I'd help her do that, but we didn't make it that far.
She's got glasses on there.
Oh, you did it.
I put it on.
Well, you did a great job.
I just love that hair.
I know.
It really captures her in hair.
Next up, me.
And there's Izzy. Lovely. It's very. Although the green eyes, she said that she doesn't have green eyes, but
I like them.
But you like the green eyes.
Next up, Daddy.
And y'all don't get to see Brad very often, but there he is. Isn't that it's adorable.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Love you.
Hey, please take those and put them in the little cubby so we can save those and they don't get.
And you know what you could do?
He looks like?
Oh, who did Daddy say he looked like? I don't remember.
Igor.
Oh, Igor.
Okay, you need to put the date.
Can you? I don't.
Well, then you need to sign your name on all of them, and I will put the date.
She signed.
I've already signed.
No, you signed mine.
Some of them that are signed, but this one's not signed.
Yeah.
And usually artists sign their signature down at the bottom rather than up at the top. All right, hasta la vista.
I wasn't going to say anything about that. I was going to leave all that judginess to you.
I
knew you'd do it.
I'm up for it.
Yeah.
I used to make my kids, I mean, even started in elementary school, like 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, I made them practice their signature.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, if there is one thing that is most irritating is I see a beautiful painting and the signature looks like a kindergartner did it. We won't mention any names, but yeah. Okay, we're ready to go topside.
I'll show y'all a painting. I should post it in Makers of one. It's a really good painting. She isn't wrong, but it was in one of my rebellious, kind of high school phases of things, and I signed it in blue. Mm-hmm.
There's not any blue in the painting at all.
Well, not that blue.
Okay, well, this is pretty funny. All right, are we topside yet?
Yes.
I gotta wait till it shows up here, because if I'm not seeing it, then those people are not seeing it.
You are
either.
correct about that.
So I'm talking about something that,
Hey, Darcy and Nina, Kathy, I think. Let's see, I may have said hello to Kathy. Cynthia.
Janice.
Hey, Sophia. I don't
Or
have any
Janice.
water up here. I might have to
I
get
have
that
some,
here
but
in a
I don't
bit.
want you drinking my water.
I know.
Your level of sickness is maybe contagious still.
It's different.
Okay, I got to show you this. This is a hoot. Okay, you remember the little thing that got stuff put on it?
I just do the crackle thing. Just pop it.
I'm not going to do it.
Here, I'll do it.
I'll let you deal with that. All right.
Basically, it was not monitored properly.
I did straighten it out once, but then I
Right.
forgot about it, and obviously it needs more straightening than I
Yeah.
provided it with. And then I had it on this really cool card, which I really needed, but now, and it did a little over.
It blooped.
It blooped, and I got a little dot down here that, I'll just whack that off. I think
There
I
you go.
won't, though, because that's going to
Here.
be kind of... All right, it's been crackled.
It's been crackled.
There's the tree. So, careful monitoring of
That was good stuff.
three-dimensional Mod Podge
Mm-hmm.
is necessary if you want to get the results without crackling on the trees. And I lost the little tree, the cute little tree that got colored with.
Oh, it'll pop up, I'm sure.
It will, and I'll just put this one over here, and then I'll be looking for it too.
You need a thing where you can, like...
I know. All right, I'm going to show you this because a lot of these kind of started like that. These cards.
So remember yesterday, we were just kind of playing around with...
You can see the plaid.
Yeah.
Well, I just went ahead and put a little more oomphy, just distressy stuff on them. And of course, I used red iron oxide. Everybody's surprised by that. I don't know. No, I think this one opens up this way. Yeah. But isn't that wonderful? Mariah done the circle stamp with the plaid stamp, and then I just went ahead and went over it with this one after I...
Right. So remember, all right, stage one with a lot of these things that I was... Well, especially the ones... Well, it's kind of hard to tell now because you've got them on the little cards. These started out as our stamping for the catalog business.
Yeah, see, this one went with... No, it went with... I don't know where the other one...
Yeah.
Here it is. Oh, here's the screen. Okay, see, this one was...
So those were the postcards. And then, because they were handy, when I was doing the experiment with the watercolor... the shiny metallic watercolors plus a little bit of oxide ink and this, that, the other. That's what we were doing yesterday, and I just went ahead and stamped on top of those stamped pieces. Then she liked that, so there's going to be a mix of the little other things that were just, ones that...
Yeah. This stuff. And then this one, like this, I actually cut that stamp apart from the rest of its
Hey, sorry.
friends, because I didn't want them all on there. So, anyway, fun stuff, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I need to finish this one off. Hand those over to Mariah, because they all are. Well, that one I didn't nip its edges. I guess I didn't nip a lot of these. Oh, well.
You were on a no-nip.
I was on a no-nip streak there.
Then I have some that she passed back to me that were the snowflakey ones. I'm going to do more work on those this coming Monday, along with a bit of a new product test. Because I got some markers from... I don't really even know how you say it. Artx. ARRTX. But they are...
Artex.
Yes. They are similar acrylic markers to the Sharpies, but they come in much more colors. So we're going to test those out because they have a little brush tip and they're not like the pumper, Posca business. So we're going to play with those along with doing the cards.
I'm going to, I've got some gel prints that I want to do some asemic writing on.
Oh, well, there you go.
With those, because I love you get the nice brushy, strokey.
I do love that. And I'm that's why I was really excited about them. So what had happened is Carrie had forwarded them to me. And then I reached out and said, hey, I would definitely be interested in this if you want to send us some. So they did. Yay.
Which is really nice. Those Swiss people weren't very forthcoming.
I know.
Back there.
They haven't tapped back. I tagged them on the video. I added them. I mentioned them. We'll see. Nobody responds to anything. I'm just beginning to feel like you just, the internet's this thing you just holler into. And
yeah.
I mean, seriously, if it weren't for y'all's comments down below, thank you, by the way. Thank you for doing that. And this is why I respond and at least give you a heart and let you know that I've read your comment. I feel like that is important.
I do too, but when you're a big company like that and you're selling so many products, you're just so busy, They need to have somebody that really is taking care of that, because I honestly think it makes a difference, and it could make a difference in their sales, how people feel about the product and whether they're going to buy it again or not. And I'm not going to buy those stupid, they'll last forever anyway.
Right. And here's how I feel about it. Like, if it's an old video, but here's the thing, like, because we're a channel, let me just let you know, like, there's a notification when we get a comment on the back end, and it comes into a full-on list, and you can just go through them. And now, sometimes it does. It takes a while. I get it. It really does. But that's why sometimes if it's, if you've given me a heart, I give you kind of heart back. Like, that's fair. Or if I just...
It's acknowledgement.
Yes, acknowledgement. And I think Carrie does that over on his... And he's actually done a video about this. He feels the same way, I think, that we do. It's important to say, hey...
Yeah, I read that. Or I noticed you left a heart. Wow, thanks.
Now, if it's on a video that's 5 or 6 years old, but again, we still get the notification if it's a brand new video. Now, what sucks is that if it's hard to carry on a conversation in the comments. Because it doesn't let you know that there's it doesn't re-up your notification. It's like you kind of have to keep an eye on that. Yeah. That gets a little tricky.
It does. And that if there are old videos there, the best way that you can do that is to do the lightning bolt thing, if you want to tell me something.
The lightning bolt thing is Facebook. That's the Facebook Messenger. So if you're confused about what she's talking about, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a little lightning bolt at the top,
Yes.
Okay, so I had a jolly good time.
Exactly, Carrie. Exactly.
What?
See, he's done videos on all of these subjects.
It's good. We can just send them over there, and we can just go.
Customer service and the
ditto!
whole thing. It's like, yeah.
I hate ditto.
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 Yeah.
All right. So
rant over.
I left these to dry overnight because I really do want to put another layer on them. I'm not going to subject you to that because it's not very interesting. But I'm just letting you know. If you want to add a color on top of this to seal in this fugitive distress oxide business, which I hate, love hate it. It just comes in such delicious colors that I just, I want to lick them, but and then I want to kick them.
Yeah, I'm gonna lick it and then kick it.
It's just one of those things that I do. I love the opacity of them and everything about them except the fact that they take forever to dry.
Okay,
you have to be careful.
You're getting some questions on, how did you get this layering of whatever's here, and Anina wants to know, what is this shimmery metallic all around? I don't know that it's metallic.
It's really not. It's just it's the paint that I used, and it's the stuff that I use, and I can't tell you exactly which one, except I'm guessing
Yeah, there's that. For sure.
This one
That was involved.
was involved. I could tell because
Yeah.
And there may be some sparkly stuff on here because some of the blues that I have over here used to be this stuff.
That's right. Don't lick your art.
So it has a residual. I mean, after a while, you know, most of it gets whatever out, but that's what happens there. And I just don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, this one has a little gold in it. And actually has quite a bit of gold
I
in
was
it.
going to say, it seems to be pretty goldish.
Airbrush medium added to this. So it is a diffused gold. It's not the gold, that gold anymore. It's a whole different gold. So that might be some of it. But the shimmery quality is really just the surface quality of this stuff when you have some of this stuff in there.
It's the sheen.
The gloss glazing liquid. Because I do add a squirt of that sometimes, and I don't always remember to make a notation. Had a lot of fun with this and this little stamp. Gosh darn it, I hope
It's right there. Next to your hand.
No, but I mean this one.
Oh.
This little guy. Okay, so
Oh,
on
this is this Darcy's.
pardon
Yeah.
me, I had a whole bunch of white around the edge. And it wasn't covering up, so I used this little stamp and just went around the edge. But look at that. Isn't that great?
That's the little grunger.
The little grunger.
It's grunge, but the small one.
And I did use the big one, but I'll show you that in a minute.
Size matters, y'all.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a whole bunch of layers. You can see I used that little stamp that I told you I broke it apart.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I break it apart is I have the darndest time getting the middle of a stamp to stamp. And I know it's because I'm using, you know, Big Bertha stamp pad, and I didn't whack it in the middle. If you do like Mariah does, she does the little ones, and she goes, choo, 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 and she gets them everywhere. But when I'm using Big Bertha, because I'm, you know, I'm not into that.
She feel like she need to get her done.
Get her done.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I forget to whack the middle.
Yeah.
But isn't that gorgeous? Look at that.
Look at it.
Now, part of that, I can tell you what happened here, is I used this airbrush medium added to get that kind of filmy look to it. But then I also get that sheen to it.
Yeah.
And of course, red iron oxide, you know that I always use that. And purple.
And the lighting is very good today. I just want y'all to know that.
It really is super, super, super. Okay, now this was a brayer off and a flop off.
Or barren, I think maybe is what she meant to say. Yeah.
What?
I think you said brayer when you meant barren.
Oh, yeah. Give it. You've got my...
I do.
I needed that, and I had to use my jar over here yesterday.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. Anyway.
You managed.
So, you can see I used this with the broken china. I don't know if I used any orange out here on this one or not. But look at that little piece of stuff right there. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Just love that when that happens. Okay, here's one of my
Isn't this cool?
asemic writing. Okay, can you see the stamp there? How I made this crisscrossy stuff in the background there. And of course it was a brayer off. And you can see red iron oxide. And then I mixed a little tiny bit of this blue in with the white, and that's how I got that blue filmy.
No, Carrie, and here's one reason I would say be leery of that. So he asked if you had used just the airbrush medium, just like to coat
on my gel plate. No, I wouldn't do that. And the reason is it might be just fine, but you can't see it.
Right.
So you're not going to know that you need to get it off of there.
And here's the other thing. We know for a fact that any like matte medium, gel medium that you put directly to the plate, it creates a little bald spot or spot. It acts as slight resist. Now, of course, it mixes in eventually. But you'll notice that like sometimes if you mix, and that's one of the reasons like when P does mixing of paint like with retarder, she won't put the retard, because we figured that out. Like,
Yeah.
if she put the retarder down first, then it's like you'd have these weird circle spots.
Yeah, it goes on to the gel plate, and it is a resist almost to the paint.
Yeah.
All right, now this I'm very proud of this because it's about 14 different things going on here. Number one, it was a brayer off. Number two, it was a pickup because I was tired of dealing with this on my plate with these others because it just kept doing that. And then
did you do?
I just kept picking up parts that were on there.
Did you do the
on the
writing
plate.
on the plate or on the gel?
On the actual gel print.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's actually purple.
And what did you write it with?
I did make sure that this was a
One of the
Statler.
Okay. Stadler.
Statler Lumo Color Permanent. And I did have to keep wiping it off.
You want to do that because it'll probably reactivate the paint ever so slightly, so it kind of gums up the end of it.
Gets gummy.
Yeah.
But you just wipe it off and it goes on. But you can see I picked up some purple sometime or another from one of the others. But this was the print that I just kept using to pick up stuff off the plate. And that's why this is so interesting, I think. Brayer off and a flop off and a pickup.
And then stamp.
And then stamped. And you can see here some more of this blue mix with the
Now, how did you get
airbrush medium.
Yeah, and then what inks did you mix, or what ink did you use to get that kind of bluish color?
This is it right here.
Oh. But it probably still had the pumice on it.
That may have.
Because it looks a little more dulled out than
And
usual.
it could have like a little bit of black on it because remember I did the black ones for the cards.
Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind, y'all.
Yeah, do keep that in mind. Now, this one actually, this is a brayer off, but you can see some really sparkly stuff here. I don't know if it's showing up or if I'm turning it in the right way. But that is some of that dadgum
The Liquitex iridescent medium. It will keep on giving.
But I just, I thought, and I've used, it's okay. It came as a brayer off. I don't know what happened to the other part of this, but it got used for something else, obviously. And this, I just kept picking stuff up off of the, when there was, because when I do this stuff and put this stuff down, I want a lot of it because that's how you get this effect of.
Are you going to do a little bit of this?
Well, I hadn't planned on it, but I could.
I mean, I think that's helpful.
Is it?
I know.
Are we getting questions about this? Like, really interested in this? I don't know. I planned on doing a long haul, but I don't have to.
Y'all let us know.
Yeah. Anyway, I love this pumice stone.
Mm-hmm.
See that? And Mariah's probably right because see, I was using them and it kind of grayed out the blue, which I really didn't care. But I love this little circle hoodie-doo thing here.
It's mowing duck.
And this is the duck mowing.
Mm-hmm.
Duck mowing. Izzy calls it duck mowing. It just cracks me up if you really start looking at it, you can see it.
Okay, Jocelyn's taking notes. All right.
She's taking notes. All right. Again, this is a brayer off.
Kathy says she would like to for you to do the asemic writing just so people can see.
Oh, well, I don't mind doing that. I do that all the time.
I shouldn't do that.
But look, isn't this wonderful? And what I did when I was doing it is I kind of turned it a little, different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the motion and the movement of this. It's just, and it's still balanced. But again, this is a flop off, a brayer off.
Hi, Tina.
And a picking up of all different kinds of colors that I was using throughout this. And
I love this one.
I do. I love this one too. And I'm probably going to keep this one. I'm not going to cut this one up because I think this is probably my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because here's the... Okay, originally it was a brayer off, right? You can see the straight... Whenever you see the straight lines, that should click in your brain. Brayer off. Started its life out as a brayer off. Then a flop off, I'm pretty sure. No. Probably a pickup off the plate because I see the
Yeah.
negatives part of the stencil showing here. And then it was just a picking up of some other goopy gunky stuff. Went through and did some, some of the soupy stuff. Did the stamping with the circles. And I might even have picked up some more stuff after that. Because you can tell because when they look like they're kind of,
Blurry.
that's because you went over another layer before that was totally dry. And I like that effect. And then Friends, whatever that thing's called. I love that thing. But I just think this is such a beautiful print because it has so many different weird things that I don't really know how that happened there or what happened there. But, just some wonderful stuff there. Look at this perfect heart. And I did not put that there. But I kept it for Mariah.
Aww.
It was just a smooshy spot that didn't get covered, but isn't that cool?
That is cute. Look at that.
Aww. And of course, I love the, let me see, what is that purple called? That's called Wilted Violet. But such a beautiful color.
Yeah, so people are very excited about seeing, if you can at least kind of show some of, or demo maybe some of the different phases or whatever.
Well, actually, most of the time my asemic writing I do kind of in the middle.
Right.
But I always use a permanent marker. Pardon me, because I never know, if I'm going to do another layer over it. And I've learned my lesson the hard way. Okay, now, never in a million years could I get this to happen again. It was not planned. It was totally accidental. But I just thought it needed something else because this was just too much the same, the green. And I put this on top, but look at that shadow effect.
So how did you get that?
Offset it a little bit, just enough that you...
Well, I know, but so... What's on top of what?
The lime green is on top of the dark green, because remember the other one? This is the flop off of this one. This is a pickup. This is a flop off.
I'm just having a hard time.
And then what I did
sequence wise
was I had the lime green down here, and after I flopped it off over here, right? Then I had the impression, the stencil there, and this one was already colored with the dark green, and I just flopped it down there, and this is what happened. That's why I said I couldn't probably do that if I planned it.
Yeah.
And it's a puzzle. So the reason you got that edge there is because that's my edge that I cut.
Yes.
I think it's really quite nice. I mean, it's got a few little weird spots in it, but
yes, Fran's urchins. Those were on that one purpley one were the urchin stamp.
All right. Well, okay. Let's get the bridge.
Hi, Gina. Those of you that have come in, do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. If you're feeling real Sherry-like, you can share this stream to your friends and put it over there on the other social media places and things. All
right, this is a good one to practice asemic writing on because I've got what's his face? Koki out there. And we'll be doing some alien writing. Now I had this all set up here. Maybe I can move it off.
Also known as asemic or intuitive, as Kathy had mentioned. She would like some more intuitive stamps. So if you want to just do some of yours and do it on a little block, that would be nice. We could just... Some people don't write like that.
You know what? You can. And the thing about it is, it's just like Caesar and walking the dogs. You just do it. You don't think about it. You look straight ahead and you go, I'm just going to do this. And that's when it happens. It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying you can't get better at it, but, it really is not terribly difficult.
Hi, Margie.
What I do, this is what I do, because some people
Emma.
used to call this unconscious writing. I don't know, back when they were doing all that, the seance and,
Who are you hanging out with?
I'm not. I'm just telling you. This was
thing?
an art movement that started, I think, maybe in the 30s,
Okay.
and it was associated with
It was before you.
This whole thing of mystical BS. Okay, so the thing about it is, you just think about writing, and you think about writing a word, and then you just kind of capitalize and
Think about if you were in a Charlie Brown. And it's wah, 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 wah. You just write like that.
Yeah. And I can think of a word, and then I think, oh, okay, let me see. And you need to get some lowercase and uppercase and lowercase. And you're not, you can talk to somebody and you can do this at the same time. And actually, sometimes it's actually better if you don't even look at what you're doing, because when you look at what you're doing, you're trying to make it do something, right? And you just don't want to make it do anything. You just want to...
Not yet, Margie.
Make it...
You haven't received a package from Margie yet, have you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Paper beats. You have not gotten paper
Oh,
beats.
No, I have not.
Okay.
And I say that because sometimes Izzy brings me stuff and I put it and then something else gets put on top of it.
Yeah, you got to look over on the table.
And anyway, there's no right or wrong way to do this. I do kind of try to follow a line, like you were actually writing a letter and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
Hi, Zenjen.
It just really is. It's subconscious. That's what it is. Subconscious writing or automatic writing. That's what they called it.
Automatic.
And this is when they were in
a trance.
In a trance. And listening to perhaps
records backwards. Well, I was in the 30s.
No, they were listening to a spirit from another world.
That too. Yeah.
I know, and we think that stuff was all BS, but these people were really, they were serious about this.
Yeah.
It wasn't like...
Hey, Mark.
All right, so there, we've got that. Look at that.
Look at that.
Toot sweet. No time at all. Okay, I need to move this out of the way so I don't knock them over. Now, you get to see this magical thing. And, I really do. I feel like that this is
magical.
This thing I do with the squishy stuff.
Oh, I like that, Susan. That's a good idea.
But see, I put this paper down and everything because I wanted to have it all in place because Mariah's always nagging me about I need to line it up with the edge of the paper or whatever. I had it perfect, but now it's not. And she's just going to have to live with it because...
I'm living with it.
Okay, so we've got this. And it already has some really wonderful things going on here.
Opportunities.
That are just... I don't know. That just makes me almost chills run up and down my spine. It's just so cool. Okay. Yeah, I do. I have balls in this one. Some of them I don't have balls in. Because I put them someplace else and then I forgot.
Her marbles.
You does take some talent to lose your paint balls.
Yeah. That's a special kind of
gift. Okay, so I want a little tiny bit of blue, okay? And I think that this is a good one, but I don't know.
Thank you, Dawn. That's so
now,
sweet.
This I know has a little bit of shiny stuff in it because see, it used to be aqua green, shimmer shine. Here, look. Oh, let me my fingernail to get that paint off there. It is aqua green. So that was its original form.
Which one?
Who in the hell knows what it is now?
But these are the shuttle art
It
ones.
has had some cerulean blue put in because I had to kind of up it.
Yeah.
So it's not full force You know, just the shiny. Ooh, whoa.
Blurted.
Now remember, this is augmenting our we don't. Oh, did you see that?
Attack.
Oh my gosh! I watched this woman today, and what did I tell you?
And something.
It's most entertaining.
Something
And
about goats.
Something, yeah, about ghosts and something. And anyway, she actually has alpacas that spit, and what they're spitting is they're spitting bile, and she says it's the most revolting smell you can imagine. It's worse than billy goats. She says it takes days for you to get it off, and it's horrible. So she had all these things that she does when because she said alpacas, they're a furry thing that's just waiting to die, and they can figure out all these different ways. I mean, you got to keep worming them, and
oh yeah, they're high maintenance.
They're high maintenance,
especially because they're not from here.
I think that's probably most part of it.
Yeah, and so
wherever they're from, it takes care of a lot of whatever.
Do y'all want to hear about the alpacas and goats today?
But it is the most entertaining. I will try to find that for you and put it on there if y'all watch animal related.
Oh, she thinks that stuff is awesome. She loves the goats. Look at that. That looks like.
Okay, now still got some good stuff here. So I'm going to grab a print that I think is okay, but, could still be a little bit more interesting.
This looks like a, asteroid hitting, meteorites or asteroids or something, some meteor shower. There we go. Comets.
Okay, now see, it didn't do that much, but it did give it a bit of a shimmer. So now I've got all this stuff kind of on the plate there. And I really kind of need to deal with that. So then what I do is I have all these prints.
Dawn says her goat Dobie is fixed, so he doesn't stink.
He's what?
He's fixed.
Oh, he's fixed? Oh, yeah. I definitely believe in neutering your animal.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the business of
breeding them.
Making
more animals.
More animals.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Okay, well, this is kind of a pukey looking print. Let's see if we can get some stuff going on with that.
My cat was named Winky, like the house
I
elf.
really do like this one. Remember, this was one of my long hauls that I did with the regular paper. I do like that one quite a lot. And I do like this one. It looks like moldy cheese. That one's okay, but I'm not going to, okay, I don't need that. This was a really, okay, am I in frame here? I should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that one.
I like that one too.
I'm
just not willing to really, kind of.
Yeah.
Now, I think this could have something. This would benefit from some smushy stuff. Okay, that's a good, oh my God, look at this one.
I've noticed that you've been carving away, Sophia. Oh yeah, that one's lovely.
Sophia's been carving
new stamps. You can see her on Instagram.
Okay, and I really like this one. It just has such, it's just such a classy print. Okay, this one's kind of Halloween-y. Let's do something to that. And I absolutely, look at this one's got some more of my asemic writing on it.
This one feels like, who's the Japanese artist? You know who I'm talking. She always does the polka dots and stuff.
Yeah, she's Asian. What is her name?
Japanese.
I have her on up here somewhere. Because somebody else likes her too.
Oh, Yo-Yo, Yayo.
Yo-Yo Yayo.
Kusama.
She has a video about, how.
Yeah, that's a great
really
documentary.
Having health issues with it. She has arthritis. It's really hard for her to work, but she does it anyway. Okay, this is the one that I practiced, went through the markers and was seeing if they were still working or not.
Right.
Yeah. And I love this one.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything to that. Love this one.
No, I don't love that
one. I remember this one was my stampy one.
Yeah, I don't love that one.
One of my stampy ones. And these were hiding out. I knew I had them somewhere, and I was Oh, and I absolutely love this one. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
The patina #1, and then the green coming through in places,
Mm-hmm.
and being, positive, negative kind of thing going on there. Oh, and look at this. Now, this is another one done with that same technique that I just did with the white.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, look at all the colors in this. I mean, isn't that amazing? Sometimes I'm really amazed at myself. I love this. It's nice and powdery looking. And then, of course, I love this. I'm going to keep this one. I'm not going to get rid of that one.
I'm going to go get water.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. I think this is pretty cool. I don't want to do anything to that. This one's okay, but I think I could do something to that too. Well, then I think we can get on with our business here. I want to bring this back in. It does take a while and you notice how it's changing character? Remember when I picked it up, it was real swoopy? And now it's kind of leveled out, but can you see that sheen? And that's, how you get some of that. But we'll pick up some more stuff with that. It's very almost a glassine, kind of. All right, now, sometimes when I get ready to do these, and this is the puzzle print, and here it is, here again. This is the one that I was using on most of those. I need to get something else going on here and breaking this up. I've already got some white, so I'm going to do a little bit of white. And I don't care if this gets all taken away. And I'm probably going to use this as I'm going to flop it over here and then pick it up with either, this one or one of those other prints. But see, you can see even on this one when I did, it really didn't pick up everything, but that sheen is from that, that mixture that's in whatever the
Paula would like a shirt that says my goat is fixed, but my alpaca still spits. I don't know if you want to wear that one out in public. There might be some.
It's so funny. She shears her own alpacas, but because she does them like a poodle, she leaves their legs puffy and they're kind of rough around their neck and their little puff ball at the end. She says she does that because it amuses her.
Yeah. I mean, if they're going to be spitting at you, you at least want them to be.
Her own. And they're named after the Beatles, John, Paul, and...
the fat, what is it? Fat 4 or 5?
I don't know. One of the Beatles died.
Lennon. Yeah.
He just up and died. She says, they get...
Oh, one of her alpaca beetles?
Yeah.
Oh, so it may not have been Lennon.
And it was, because she has John, Paul, and Ringo.
Okay.
So, one of them died. The alpacas.
Mm.
And it's just so weird because sometimes I actually like the flop-offs better than I do maybe the oh, that was kind of a crap job. I do the other part because see, look at how nice that, kind of mixed it up a little bit there.
Well, he was here yesterday. He may just have things going on.
Who?
Eddie.
Oh.
They're wondering where he's at.
Okay, so, I didn't get some down here on the end, so I can just come back in and get pick up a little bit there, pick up a little bit more there. Oh, look at that. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, so...
Pretty happy with that.
She said, Sophia says, so if John, Paul, and Ringo are still there, then it was George that died.
No, okay, no.
Because it's John Lennon.
She has George. I remember calling George.
George, okay. So maybe it was John Lennon. Was the one-
Yeah, John was not called.
There you go. That's how rumors get started.
Yeah. Okay, now see, that's starting to have a totally different feel to it. I don't know that it's done, and that orange coming through there is really just,
Well,
yeah, I don't like that so
She
much.
finds that off-putting.
But I know how to take care of that.
Not that she's off the pudding.
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the pudding.
It's very much. She has a pudding problem.
Leftover whipping cream from
I feel like she has a
Thanksgiving.
pudding. There should be an intervention regarding this pudding, and maybe after the first of the year, we might have to do that. I'll let her have the holidays with her pudding. But after the first year, we may have to sit her down and talk about this midnight pudding.
I know. I try to eat it when she's not around because
she knows, and I'm being
guilts
judgy.
me, and she's very good at it.
Well, yeah. It is a good stencil.
So basically, even though I'm not, what you have to do here when you're doing this technique, it's intuitive. And I don't use that word lightly because Mariah knows that I feel very strongly about that word. I think it's overused and overrated. When you could attribute a lot of other things and use some other adverbs or whatever.
Oh, Sophia, because she knows things. She just wants to know if she has a kooky female alpaca in another field that John was so taken with, because it causes ructions. I don't know if that was a misspell or if I just don't know that word. With the other 3 males who resented said female hugely as a consequence.
Well, and here's what else I learned. Did you know male alpacas have a castrating tooth? And they will try to nip the nuts on the other male alpacas. Nut nipping is what's going on, and I have to watch it. And it is weird because it's just 2 teeth that are sticking out here like this. And she said, that's the other thing you need to think about when you have alpacas, is a dentist. She said, I can't even find a dentist who knows how to put in an IV on a alpaca, much less, like...
Oh, you mean a vet?
Vet.
Yeah.
Into,
I mean, all the body, not just the teeth.
Okay, I just, I was talking about this out here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, okay. See how much more interesting this is.
Yes.
It isn't just all one thing. It's just like all of these really interesting places. It takes you around. You look at this part, you look at this part. You just can't plan this. You just, when it happens, you just say hallelujah and move on.
Cynthia does not want me to take away your pudding. She says a woman of, certain age, she needs things, and that.
Thank you very much. I don't overuse it. In fact, I really wanted some the other night, but it was clear I was going to have to go get the ladder because somebody put it on the shelf that I can't reach unless I get the ladder.
Well, I didn't do that on purpose. That would, although that, now that you said that, it's
now
sort
that
of
I've
funny,
mentioned that's a possibility for future.
I just want you to know, I have not consciously done that.
But just subconsciously, I bet that she's going to.
Maybe.
I'm going to put this up here, and she won't want to bust out the ladder to get
her pudding
stuff at the back of the refrigerator in the middle, at 12:30. What I tried to do is I tried to take here lately. Try to take my nighttime meds, that stop the coughing and the hacking and the yeah. I try to take it about an hour before I'm ready to go to bed because if I take it right when I go to bed, I just lay there and cough for an hour while it's kicking in.
We are getting better. I'm so much better. What's happening here is just...
My dosage has gone down half.
No, I didn't even take any medicine last night. None.
I did because I just didn't want to. I knew I wanted to get... Okay, this is not happening for me yet. But
Hey, Dar.
it will. All right, now I'm going to really.
Oh, what's the medium that you put in with the paint? That is the airbrush medium.
Or the gloss glazing liquid.
Yeah. She kind of interchanges those or does a little of both. Or yeah.
Yeah, because one of them is no crazy and the other is a little bit of crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really trying to get this to pick up. But when you're doing paint on paint, you know, it's just a... I cleaned up that edge. That was a good thing. Yes. Now, look, isn't that... I mean, all of a sudden, it just has spots that are starting to really, you know, like this little weird stuff out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a really good one. Should have, you know, whatever. All right, so now this one, I'm trying to get rid of this orange.
You need to do an all over glaze.
I need to do a blue. I just need to do a blue.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to do some fluid cerulean deep.
This is...
I'm not either going to do that because that's not even opened.
Here, if you want me to open it? Or do you have it up there?
Let me look. I may already have it. No, I have this and this will work.
Okay. What is this one?
That's deep cerulean. This is turquoise phthalo.
Okay. This was, yeah.
This is going to get rid of that super
bright orange.
Brilliant, you know, 5 Mile Hunter orange stuff.
That's pretty heavy.
It is pretty heavy. Good point. Good point.
Thank you. So is this kind of what you're doing right now? This is sort of how you got that offset one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really. It is. I just didn't think about that.
Yeah, and I was trying to think about the sequence of that. Because you did
so
a flop
I
off.
have thinned this out considerably. I've noticed there's some white spaces there. There's still a lot of other stuff, but I think this is going to be really interesting. I'm hoping enough is still going to be available. You know, you're going to be able to see some of the stuff that's there. I'm hoping to have some of the other stuff just really go away.
Yeah. Oh, yes. She got, yeah, that was good.
Okay, now see, that's starting to be interesting. And even though not all, but now it draws your eye around. You don't just see that spot of orange and go, oh, there's orange on that. But you can go, oh, here.
It's just peeking through.
It's peeking through.
Rather than having, you know, like...
It's shining through the windows.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got this out here. It's a little stronger than I would like for it to be. And I'm going to think about what I'm going to use to pull this up with. And that needs a little bit of something going on. And sometimes if I want to decide that I don't really want so much of this showing here, I'm going to put a little pink in. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in because sometimes what happens here.
Deb says, sorry, she's back. She just hates it when people just show up because they're related.
Yeah. Oh, you mean, yeah, they don't call ahead and say that.
Yeah, you know,
ask you if you're busy.
Family,
or,
yeah.
And this is kind of how sometimes you get those weird colors.
Like this. Yeah, don't do too much mixy with that.
I know, and I'm going to pull this off here like this because I think this is going to be a really good.
Oh, that's a good question, Paula. She says, could you do this on the carnival paper and make kind of a glassine.
Oh, I don't know. But I mean, I have noticed on some of my, oh, look.
Look at that.
Fell off of something.
Oh, trinket.
Probably that I didn't even notice. Y'all notice that?
It was ready.
Yeah. And I could have grabbed this up and put this down. That would have been the smart thing to do. Oh, it's clearing the deck.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
All right, that is one of the problems with the solutions that we were doing here. Hopefully, I can get it to come up from this way. Yeah,
you did.
Okay. But look at that. Now I've got to figure out where my.
Well, we need to talk about that because some people may not understand what you're talking about.
Okay, see, when that started to tear, when I pulled it this way, I stopped pulling from that end, went to this end, because chances are it's a one-way tear. And see, I can't even tell where it is now. I have to let it dry.
And the reason that happens is because there's a drying point or a point of stickiness where it's on its way to drying, but still wet enough that it has, made the paper saturated.
Right. Here it is.
Point where it will then lift and stick.
And all you need to do, because if you didn't know where it was, you wouldn't know it was there. But while it's still a little on the damp side, now part of it is still obviously on the plate.
Yeah, some speckles.
And that would be a piece of paper, and that's okay. We don't care
Patty.
about that.
Patty from Fairy Tales and Fireflies says it looks like a Monet.
Oh.
Yeah, it does.
It really it does, and see, it has that kind of smushy watercolory
And
thing.
it's got the right colors.
Like Givernet. Okay. Fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to try to find that little, I don't know, maybe it just got included some of the part of the print. I don't know. That happens.
That's what you're going with, huh?
That's what I'm going with.
All right.
Okay, so this is still ho-hum.
Yeah.
I think we really, when I look at this, I just think it needs yellows and blues. And we can do that because we got all this white out here. We don't want to lose all of the purple, although I love that purple so much.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, don't obliterate the purple.
I don't want to obliterate that. So we're going to do some more.
You want to enhance.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know that this is the answer.
This is true. You don't.
This is very true.
And so,
Nina was very impressed with your French.
Well, I think that I'm just about exhausted.
Yeah.
Except tout sweet. And I know, that.
Yeah.
All right. You can tell this has got a lot of just plain water. Because you see what's happening here. It's not
all that super crazing.
And see how this isn't. This is stain. So I know that whatever's in this blue, I probably squirted some more of that gloss.
The glazing
in there, and that.
See, and as she mixes it in, that's why you get more of the streaking and less crazing.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to blend.
And there's I don't know how to tell you. It's one of those things you just feel it. after a while, you just look at it and you go, oh, yeah, okay, that just has a lot of water in it. It could be just water.
And if it smells funky, that's really true.
This is true. And that does smell kind of
funky.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want them to smell funky, use distilled water.
True that. All right, now, starting to look a little, okay, I already know what it needs.
Hey, Kathy.
Transparent red iron oxide. I'm not taking up anything out here. Then I'm going to go ahead because I don't want it to just be like that.
Right.
I want it to have more ushy gushy. So this is airbrush medium.
Hey, Jean. Those of you that have come in, do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. If you want to hang out in the background, that's totally fine. But give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. Yeah? What?
Well, I'm just not totally happy with it. And that's alcohol. Did you put the water back on there?
Here's the llama spitter.
You got just about drug my sleeve through the gravy.
I know, you got your nice shirt on.
All right,
Hey,
so
Jessie.
I didn't have enough cellularization going on there.
We all are, yes. But I'm better.
And I'm just giving it a minute. Patience. Caesar says patience. Patience, that's all it takes to make a good dog. And I don't know if you know this or not, but if you're going to get donkeys, you need to make time to train them. Because this woman has donkeys, and she said the first donkey she had was a total disaster. Well, number one, it was a rescue, and usually rescue animals, they come with some baggage.
Yeah, and then it's hard to figure out.
Because they weren't just returned to the fold because they were fabulous animals, right?
Right.
And she says the best kind of donkey that you want to get is you want to get it from someone who died and had it in their as a pasture animal and already had,
a happy life.
Happy life. No, it doesn't come with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to figure out what the problems are. Oh my gosh. Now look at this.
Oh. Now that needs some time to dry.
And of course we've got some wonderful stuff going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of getting... Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up. I'm not going to go everywhere, and I'm not going to try to pick all of it up.
Good call, Mo. I wondered about that.
What?
Well, because when some people, when they come in, I think it takes them back further in the stream, so you're already at kind of a delay. And so when we say hello or whatever, they may not hear it until... But maybe if they've made a comment or something, we can tell that they are further back in the stream. So,
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
I do that, and
Mm-hmm.
I have this corner around here that just seems like it doesn't want to integrate. That's good. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Pick up a little bit of this here. But this is how I get all those weird different colors in just one print, because this is what I do.
okay, I was about...
Just go along and pick up stuff as,
Uh-huh.
And think, okay, well now, what does this need? What does this need?
Patty said, careful with that Monet.
Okay, I will be careful. I think this needs, it needs something, I don't know what it needs.
So hopefully this is answering, like, you see that, like, with those prints that she showed at the beginning.
This is how they evolve.
So it's just kind of this rotation of adding a little thing, and then, putting this thing down, and then, okay, it needs a little bit more of this. Oh, well, now this is really accented. Do I want that accented? Do I need to put a contrasting color on there to maybe knock it back or oomph this one up?
And most of the time, except when I use the white, It's transparent.
Mm. Oh, hey, Sandy. Ooh, I like the colors happening out here. I don't know if your spray stuff's doing much.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
Just
give a second.
Patience.
And one more spritz. Oh. This is how you get the comments. Not the comments, but the comments.
I mean, there is a amount of time here where, you know,
I think
the
Paula's further
paint's
back.
drying. But,
hey, Joni.
you know, it's okay if it's still slippery, slidey a little bit. And that was definitely slippery, slidey.
Yeah, we've all got it. But we're on the mend. The cough sticks around, though.
Yeah. Izzy's still coughing.
She is.
Now, I think some of this is definitely allergies because I had a sneezing fit last night.
I feel like...
that went on for 15 minutes.
Well, and Brad was outside yesterday or day before because he was putting up the lights for Christmas and everything. And he's all... Oh, I love that. I think...
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone, she says. Leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, Darcy.
What?
Ooh. Sharing is not caring when it comes to your illnesses. I've told her, I was like, okay, you know how you avoid this? If your little friends are coughing, sneezing, doing whatever, stay away from them.
And don't be drinking, you know, out of their chocolate milk carton. You should watch them there. It is absolutely amazing. They're all just slobbering and...
They just, yeah, there's no sense of bubble.
Nobody has a sense of personal space. They're all just in it.
Uh-huh.
And I don't, not right now. I'm fairly good with this. I think this one's done.
Yeah. I like that.
I really love these areas and, you know, where it kind of coalesced.
Mm-hmm.
And areas where it's sort of covered up. Yeah. I'm considering that one to be done. I don't know what else needs to happen with that one. I'm liking this one.
Well, I figured that at least if we all got sick now, I mean, I was sick actually on Thanksgiving Day and missed the, you know, gathering and everything. Because I was definitely, you know, in the contagious stage of it. But hoping that then relieves me of my usual what happens on Christmas Day.
Yeah, you've got the flu out of the way.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what I'm feeling about this is to just hold off
Marcia.
because right now it's not dry.
Right.
It does take a while for this glossy stuff to dry.
Especially when it's paint on paint.
Especially when it's paint on paint. So I'm thinking an application of that one stamp over this when it's dry.
Yep.
And then go ahead and do some more kind of smushy stuff.
Oh, the other thing that I'm going to be doing this, I was just thinking when Darcy said I hoped. Darcy's doing her prompt thing. Darcy, will you put a link to your prompt stuff that's going on to the community thing? If people do want to get involved in that, but then that's the other thing I will be doing this coming Monday. I've got to pull together some stuff for it. I need to talk to you about that.
For what?
My thing that I'm going to do this coming Monday.
Oh.
That's really not on the day that I thought it was going to be on, but Darcy said that was fine because that really indicates the fact that you don't have to do the thing on the exact day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. She makes a lot.
They don't tell me anything.
No.
Because they know that
Yes.
it just slips up and comes out and.
Oh, look at Mo. Awesome.
Okay, didn't want this everywhere, but I did want it in some places here. It's because I thought it needed some little bit of Oh,
Ooh,
yes.
Now leave it alone.
I'll leave it alone. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of that with this, even though it's wet. I don't know that that's going to make a hill of... Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yep. See? Just more layers. More
And you
layers.
get better at this. But look at the transparency there. And the depth of that. Love that. Love that so much. Okay, I think this needs another little something. Needs green.
Green. Well, you
Needs
got some
green.
kind of out there.
I do. But
It's just not the right one.
It's
Any
not
more
the right
oofy?
one.
Yeah. Layers
Now,
on
this
layers
is,
equal
this
good
is
stuff.
back
That's
800.
right,
What
Darcy.
does that do? I need to read about that. I forgot. Okay, this is low crazing extender. Okay, I don't want that. I want it to craze the crap out of it. So we're not using that.
Deb says leave that one alone. Well, no, I think the one that we were
Airbrush
talking about.
medium
The
added.
one we were
Okay.
like, oh yeah, that one's.
We're going to add some stuff. I just think it just needs another little oomphy
It's a
something.
little oomphy
Oomphy something.
that she says.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know if that's
Yeah, you're
it.
just kind of pulling stuff up. Let's see. Did it do the oomph?
Well, now see, it's starting to get interesting, but I think we just really need
I
to.
think you need to leave that one alone.
I think you just need to shush it. I'm on a roll here.
All right, awesome. So yeah, Darcy has a playlist over on her website. And so if you're doing videos for her prompts, you'll be able to see it, or she'll list it on that video or on that playlist. I'm sure she would also like probably for y'all to let her know just in case. I know that I feel that way about, I don't always know.
Did we discuss the fact that I don't know if I have someone who I've neglected to send stuff to?
We talked about it.
I know we talked about it,
Hey,
but
Mitzi.
I don't know that anybody addressed it.
I asked
to my
you,
satisfaction.
I had put out the request to Rhonda to reach out to you. Now, whether or not you have looked at your lightning bolt, yeah, that was, yeah, that's what you needed. I still think you could have left it alone, but I do approve. Now, would you leave it alone?
No,
Would
I'm
you-
gonna. I want it everywhere. I love it. I love it. It's
No.
swampy and wonderful. And look at that.
Now, will you leave it alone?
I will leave it alone.
I don't fully approve of that. What happened? I just want y'all to know that.
Okay, we're gonna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nah.
I think it needs some more. It needs more turquoise out here. I've got turquoise on the edges, but I don't have any out there in the middle quite yet. So
I tried to tell her, Deb. I tried.
what?
Telling you to leave it alone.
Oh,
Some of us
bunch of.
Some of us don't love the green as much as you do.
Well,
And so we are expressing said feeling.
Get your own gel plate.
Hey, sometimes we just like to tell you what to do because you do such a good job. Not at listening, but at doing.
I really love that. Isn't that wonderful?
It is. You should probably try to just do that separately because I don't think it's going to, you're not going to get the full oomph of it. And this is how new papers start. Mo just filled up, 2 rows of green hearts. She's on Team Green. Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Okay, again, see, look, I just lost a little piece there and lost another little piece there.
And you can tell that, see, it's in those really super wet areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, sweetie.
Oh, that's right. Oh, thank you, Darcy. I tell you, y'all are keeping me on track. So, those of you that wish to sign up for swaps, you need to do that because you have until the 7th. So there's the Becky swap, which is gel prints, layered gel prints. And she's showing you how to make them. Oh, you know what you're supposed to do today? Damn it, woman. Color. No, color combo. You're supposed to mix some colors.
I am.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is this a good time?
This is a fantastic time. 45 minutes.
Okay,
that's
so
about all
do
we
you
need.
see what happened here when I was trying to go? There wasn't any place that I could do to pull it.
Right.
But it's okay. You just don't worry about that, and you just put that over.
Thank you,
over
thank
there.
you, Rhonda. And see, I totally lost. Okay, Lygia was your scrap swap partner.
Lygia.
She was in chat and she said she knew P was late, but she couldn't. But she could send it to. Okay, we got it. No worries. That's good to know.
I'm really sorry. I'll send you some good stuff here because you were really sweet about it.
Not just scrappy stuff.
And
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full on.
Full on.
Okay, so I don't really need to clean all that up, right? I mean, what's our color thing again? Remind me. I know it's
okay. So
coral, light coral,
right? Like a light coral, even though it just said coral, it's a light one.
See, here you can tell. See that the difference between this and that?
Yes. Hey, you got some of the color combos in there almost. Do that. Okay, sailor blue, coral pink, and silver gray.
Is silver gray supposed to be metallic?
It could, or you can add a metallic, but I think silver would count for sure.
Because I've got this. It's kind of wimpy.
Yeah, and that would be spot on.
Kind of wimpy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do have this one, which is a little more... Well, no, it's not. I'm thinking about Martha. I'm telling you what, Martha over here...
Martha,
I use her very sparingly because, see, I've got the bottle
the paint no more.
Turned upside down. I don't know that there's enough there to do a full-on.
We haven't figured out what they've rebranded that paint.
No, we have not.
They just don't put Martha's
if you
name on it.
all know. I mean, and it is like... It comes out looking like that. Most of these things, the wrappers on there, they are not what they say they are. Lying suckers. Okay.
Oh, can you please tell which glossy medium P added to the blueprint?
What?
What glossy medium did you put in with the...
the why it turned that color? Because it had this stuff in it. Shiny stuff. Gloss glazing liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Slow drying extender for acrylic colors. And you know, if I'm really honest, a lot of times I squirt a little squirt of that and everything just for chuckles and grins.
Because she has it.
Because I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think the color that we're really concerned about, because I think I've got Mariner. You know, I don't know. I can pull any one of these.
Well, I feel...
You need to cut those out. I was going to do that.
Da Vinci Prussian Blue.
You think that's going to be my Mariner?
Yes. Sailor Blue.
Sailor Blue?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now here's the thing. When you're doing this on your plate, you don't want to mix up your fluid acrylics with your heavy body. It's not going to work. Because by the time you get one of them spread out enough, then your other one's already going to be dry. So whenever you do the ombreing business, you need to use like paint. If you're using fluid, all of them need to be fluid.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know you say that.
I say that because it's true, Mariah. I'm not just saying that because, you know, I'm trying to...
I just don't know that you have...
Throw a wrench in your works.
Right. I just...
Holy cow. Okay. So...
I don't know that you have experimented enough for that to be
I do.
facts.
I have. It just wasn't in your presence. So you're just going to have to take my word for it.
Well, I want to see the documentation on that.
All right, so I've got some Windsor blue here, and I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking that, well, I don't know, though.
Yeah, you're good. I feel like...
No. I changed my mind. I think it's this one. The turquoise. I don't know. It needs some purple in it. What do we got?
Oh, Darcy says 2012 is when Martha left the paint game. That is some old paint.
And she just keeps on giving. I'm telling you. She's like a Jersey milk cow. Okay, well, that changes things up. So now, basically what I need to do, because Mariah seems to think, and I'm just going to go with her. So if this turns out to be total...
That's fine. You can blame me.
Poop.
I'm good with that.
Now, I do have cerulean, deep blue.
No, that is not the color.
Okay, so this coral business. Let's get back to that for a minute. I need a yellowish red. We'll go with the pyrrole. Let's see if we can get a coral out of the pyrrole.
Please go pastel. Like, I'm not gonna be, like, super hard on you about hitting the color, but, like, I need you to at least be in the zone. Pretty please, and thank you. And I think that's why it says coral pink. Because it's not, like, just coral. You know?
Yeah, I know. I've got way too much red out here.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can scoot it aside. I don't know.
Well, her paint is. That's what we're saying, Jocelyn. Mm-hmm.
And I know this is probably going to blurb out there in a big old gob.
Well.
And I just need a little.
And I really feel like I should turn your... Well, can I turn all that off?
Did you see that was like... Sucked it right back in.
If you could push that up like an inch or two, then people could... Yeah, it's right... See, now it's right between us. And then it's the magic.
How's that, Mariah?
You are in the right area. You need to add a lot more white. And then we will be spot on, Patricia.
It looks coral to me.
I just had this conversation with you. I love you. This is why it's coral pink. I want you to think pastel.
Well, you know that I don't like that.
I know. That's why I really had to be adamant about this, because you were fighting me on it.
I like that.
It's still way too dark. That is not pastel.
Using up all my white. I'll make you buy me some.
That's right. You just do it and be like, you can blame it on that coral pink.
Coral pink.
Ate up her white. What happened to
Depleted.
your big ass tub of stuff?
Well, yeah, but we're talking about
yes, you don't want to
fluid.
mix the... Yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm.
How's that?
Mm-hmm. I will accept that, but I still feel like it's too dark. You knew you put too much red out there anyway.
I did. Well, I scraped out a whole bunch.
I know. You needed like a little boop of red. Okay, this is acceptable. Otherwise, we're gonna end up with a vat of it.
Yeah.
We don't.
Okay. So, all right. Where do I want that? I want that on one end or the other.
Mm-hmm. What you should do is put that right next to the silver.
I'm putting the silver in the middle.
Yeah, that's good. They'll separate the two, and then really there'll be a point where it hits it and dulls it out, and that'll be perfect.
I have to fix this over here first.
Oh, perfect. Jocelyn's using her Posca apricot and light pink. See, that's kind of what I did with the Chocola. Well, I did the Chocola plus... I don't know what I don't know if this is apricot or not because it doesn't have. It's all in Japanese.
I don't want to leave this too thick on my plate because I've noticed that it causes problems when you try to get it off.
And it kind of will leave divots, right?
Well, if I would put a piece of paper on top of it, yeah, it would.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Alrighty. Silver in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use this very often, so you have to squeeze the bejesus out of it. Or shake the bejesus out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one? Oh, all right, Mariah. I'm using this. This
now,
Da Vinci.
And it's good that she's putting this stuff on last, because I'll tell you, this stuff dries quick.
I need to get a...
You know what you should do is just squeeze some of your extender stuff in it.
Well, I can't do that, because if I put that down, it'll have a bald spot.
No, I know, but what I'm saying, like, into the bottle of the Da Vinci stuff. Like, because I think overall, that would be a good thing.
move.
Uh-huh. Because that stuff dries so quickly. Not as dry, not as fast as some of those Liquitex soft body, which are basically the fluid acrylics. Look at that.
Excellent.
Oh, goodness. All right.
No, you need to go bigger. Just stay at home.
That's right.
No.
Hi, Laura.
And I have pink paint.
Oh, welcome to those of you that have come in. Do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back if you're watching in replay. No worries. Let us know down in the comments below, but give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already.
Okie dokie. Here we go.
Very excited about this. Ooh. Pink coming into the zone.
Definitely got the pink covered here, don't I?
Yes, exactly, Deb. That's
What?
the right way to go about that. She's gonna keep adding white to hers.
Well, if she allowed me to, use something other than that Da Vinci hoop-de-doo, I could have, I would have done a much better job mixing paint over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about time to retire this paper.
Yeah, it's not doing it's not helping.
It isn't helping.
Doing the opposite. It's becoming troublesome.
Dang it.
Things are sticking today.
It's because of that extender stuff. It's on the plate.
It's on the plate. Oh, yeah.
Well, this kind of crap happens, folks.
Well, and this is the tricky part about using 3 different kinds of paint. Although I wouldn't have guessed that the pink was going to be such a problem.
Well, it's because I have a ton of paint. And also I need to clean my, okay, we're just going to, I'm tired of
don't
messing about with that. Yeah, I'm going to,
hey, I call it a win on the color business, though.
Well, yeah.
Yes, Da Vinci is, it's from Blick. I'm pretty sure of that, right?
Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I know that this is not very much fun to watch, but we're going to do a plate cleaning.
Oh, look, Margie even said, I think P needs to clean her plate.
Bless her heart, she knows that's exactly right.
She's very impressed by that.
because this should not be happening.
Mhm.
I mean, I can pull up pieces of paper that are absolutely wet
Oh,
with paint.
of the Da Vinci, before she added the glazing medium,
It's really an interesting effect here. And I mean, I've still got parts of that paper that can be used.
here, hand me the bottle of the Da Vinci so I can read information from it.
I don't know why.
I don't know what it says as far as but it's like a semi-transparent because it even has a little swatch and then like you can see the little dots through it. So I think that is indicating its transparency is, semi.
I don't know. I'd say it was pretty.
Yeah, I mean, heavily put on there, I think so, but again, it's showing little dots through it, so. It says, semi-opaque is what it says.
Well, semi-opaque and semi-transparent. I mean, 6 of one, half
No,
dozen.
semi-transparent would lean more to its transparency versus opaqueness being more solid.
Of the dominant.
Mm-hmm. That's what I
feature.
feel like. I can get down in the weeds on that. I'm for it. You got 28 minutes.
I think I'm okay.
Okay. And then, sorry, I gotta look at it like this because my eyeballs are. Okay, so light fastness says excellent. I don't know if that's of like some kind of.
Yeah, if that's a real deal.
Is that a real
deal breaker?
Well, or no, if that's like the real gauge. And then it says FB 15. I don't know what those letters are. It's way too tiny. But I do I can read the semi-opaque. But remember, she did add the glazing stuff to it. That was going to make it more transparent.
Yeah, but where it pulled wasn't where the blue was. It was where the pink was.
Yeah.
Because I had too much paint.
Yeah.
Just plain too much paint.
Yeah. Do you need that?
I don't know what foul.
Oh, and thanks, Mo. Mo put a like if you want like a quick way to go about it, she has our conditioning the plate short there in the chat.
Okay.
And if you're wondering how you get to chat and you're watching in replay, if you see the comments, do a little swipey thing back and forth because that's like on your if you're on a mobile.
I'm going to do this the way that I want to do it.
You just do it. Why? I mean, I didn't think that you did anything.
Well, I used fluid acrylics, and I don't like to use fluid acrylics for a ombre.
Ombre.
And
okay,
I keep
then use Prussian blue in whatever.
It's not the same.
I know, but I'm allowing it for you to then do what you want to do, but please use Prussian blue. Is my request.
All right, I've got to find my Prussian blue and something that's not open.
Yeah, and I know you have it because we ordered it like on purpose because we're like we should have
But I look at how low I'm getting. Okay, so we've got that. Now we need silver.
Now what you could do is just do the ombre. Here's thought. But this is where it gets a little bit interesting. See, the nice thing about the silver being in between.
It separates them.
It separates them and it kept your pink on the pinks and then the blues on the blues.
And because if these two mix, you're going to get a purple.
And then we're going to add in a third color. We don't want to do that necessarily.
Okay, so I could just use white.
You could. And then what you'll do is like on the print later on, use pumice stone to do your stamping. And then you have the silver gray.
There you go. All right, I'm liking that.
Justification. Oh, and then Paula says that burnt umber and white make the silver gray. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. And I don't have any of that in
Yeah, I don't know about that.
heavy body anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think Deb's a little further behind in the screen.
Yeah, because if you did have a cool brown, I can see how that could
Right.
happen. Okay, so now we want...
Oh, so yeah, so Susan Fernandez is saying, yeah, the Pantone silver gray looks like a gray beige. See, now I'm not seeing that, but I will tell you this. I'm just letting y'all know. I don't see color the same way that her and Brad see color. There have been multiple moments where, and it usually comes down to seeing like a warm, like brownish if it has, because those one sheets that I tell you that are gray.
Mm-hmm.
And then you and Brad said, no, they're what? You see the brown in them.
They're more maroon. They're browny, purpley.
I don't see that. So there's like some hue of color that like I don't see that they do see. I don't know what information that does, like what that provides for y'all. Other than maybe don't trust me necessarily when giving color mixing. Yeah. So Susan.
Well, there we got the pastel, Mariah. You ought to be just wetting yourself over that one.
I am. Fabulous job, Patricia. Fabulous.
Okay, now we're... Need a tiny bit of yellow in there. And I don't really... the yellow that I need is in my drawer here. Let's see if we can do this without...
Well, that's the, yeah, I mean, no, stop, like,
part.
I see, like, you know, red, yellow, whatever, but when it comes to deciphering what colors, like, grays, what am I trying to say? What they lean towards, what they...
Warm and cool colors.
Yeah. I see it differently than they do. I think overall, though, I do see.
Okay, we're using a little transparent...
Are you making your silver?
No, I'm making my...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, that might have been a little much, but okay. Hi, Mary Ellen. Yes, grays are always tricky. And then depending on what it's next to. Because usually the gray picks up.
Well, I would not call this coral at all.
Can you push it up a little bit? Like an inch? Yeah, that. Yeah, there you go. That's softer than what I'm seeing on the screen but that is like, you're in the wheelhouse there. If you wanted to put a little more dab of pink in there, maybe dirty it up ever so slightly.
Well, that...
Maybe more of that yellow. Not much. Not much of that. Like a whisper of... Yes, that. No.
Gosh, I should have used open paint here, sitting out there, you know,
Just
looking at me like a... All right, let's give that a mix about.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The glasses do. And these have the film stuff on them. So I know that the blue blocker, whatever. So it does change, like, the way colors appear. I mean, I don't really notice it 100%, but supposedly.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but that's what I'm going to put out.
Yeah,
there.
I like it. You were definitely in the zone. if you take this and mix it with her first set of stuff, I think you'd be like really close. When the two pinks meet.
I'm running out of spatulas here, so this is going to have to be it.
Okay.
You know, it's just all of a sudden you just have that stuff that is just going down your throat like crazy, and you just are.
It tickles. And when you talk,
you can't not cough.
Yeah, when you talk, it really makes it extra tickly.
All right, let's see if that's going to do it. I'm going to go to a little.
And our lighting changed too, because it's getting later in the day. Oh, is it full?
Let's see if we can get this off the plate without further ado.
Yeah. Now that you cleaned it up a bit.
Well, now that down there at the bottom is caused by from the brayer.
Oh, it did
clean my brayer off.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it has that wavy. See the wavy?
But this is a good representation of when we say the blues dry quicker. You can see that straight away here. Because it all, like, whatever blue was down there came up.
Yeah. And the more, you know, I had, well, of course, it sat out there on the tarmac for, you know, while everybody was boarding the flight.
What are you talking about?
The blue. I had it out there ahead of all the other colors.
Oh.
You know, sitting there looking at me.
I was like, when were you flying with this paint?
It was a metaphor.
Yes, now I understand that. I was not boarding the plane. I was just wondering why we were at the airport.
I don't care if I ever have another airport experience. I've already had all of the airport experiences in this lifetime that I care to. All right.
You got 15 minutes.
I'm just going to, you know, try to
carry on with what you got going on here.
Get this cleaned up here.
Are you calling it mixed? I think that between the first pink that you mixed and the second pink.
Yeah, well, here's the brayer off is probably the closest.
Yeah. Look at that.
I just, you know, this is where I have problems with these cutesy names for paints.
Here's the deal. Simmer down.
That's
not, all you have to say about it.
I'm not going to say anything else about, oh, shit.
Sugar. Biscuit.
Just whack that down right in the middle of the...
Yeah, other thing.
Of the other paint that I've got going on
You have to
there.
understand, number one, it's a marketing thing. And secondly, after a while, you sort of run out of, you know?
There's nothing wrong with just calling a, you know, pale pink, pale peach, dark peach.
Yeah.
Everybody has that in their brain. They've got that because there's lots of places that they've seen that. They've heard that. Yada, yada.
No, and we've disproven this because you have that memory. It's kind of an interesting topic as far as you know, having conversation, and when you say, oh, because that person knew what I meant because I know that they know this. Well, do you know that they know that? That's
maybe,
yeah.
Maybe, well, yeah, definitely. It's like that whole thing with teal. Yeah, well, another other thing that really makes me want to vomit is, you know, just like uppity color names.
Oh, really? Oh, now she's getting
Yeah.
personal.
It is personal.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to start naming those. They might come after you. It's conspiracy.
Now, see, that's an interesting. This is, you know, you poo-poo this, but this could become like the most wonderful ever.
That's why I tell y'all, it takes at least 3 streams, but it's probably going to be, you know, she dug it out of a pile, and, you know, like she just said, she found that pile. She was looking for it about 2 weeks ago. I think it was about 2 weeks ago.
I think it was
for that pile. Because the last time I had asked you about packets, you said, oh, I already have some, and then you were looking for those and you couldn't find them, and so those were the, you know, so it's on a rotation.
Yeah,
about every other packet making session she can find the previous set, which is kind of good, because then it makes them more interesting, because if you kind of just sit at, you know, one packet making round.
I'm bound and determined to use this
pink up,
pink up, because number one.
Hey, put it on that yellow business that you just did. I'm just curious.
Well, you know, I wanted to,
or a little bit.
I wanted to do a long haul with Eddie's thing today, but
you can long haul on Thursday.
I didn't get to it, Eddie.
Well, he wasn't here today anyway.
Oh,
so,
well, good.
Yeah,
that works out well, right?
It's a good thing you weren't here today, Eddie.
I don't have enough places to put stuff, and I think that I'm not gonna be able to get much of a fire off on that.
Yeah, probably, Mo. Probably. Oh, thank you for sending me messages to remind me about things. Oh, I love that. That was good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, now let's change this up a little bit, because it's just going to be pink.
Yeah, I love the... I like that, too. I really do. I like
get some of this really smushy.
And I think the reason that they really use those names is just to make them a little more fun and more relatable. Because if they just stuck to the numbers, then people will be like, this is kind of boring. Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Oh, you're probably right.
I probably am. It happens.
Sometimes you have to really be careful about putting wet paint on top of that gum.
Yeah.
On top of something that's already wet. Just keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. See? You needed that pink. And see, the color's in there.
That's going to be absolutely wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, now we're going to go with a little blue. I'm just going to go right up until it's time to...
You just do it. Just 10 minutes of you just freestyling.
This is what I like to do. This is the very best results. When I'm trying to do something, that's when it all goes to poop.
Especially on camera, and I don't really know what I'm getting, and that's just really hard.
Yeah, you know, it's really hard to perform on cue. And mixing these colors and trying to, and I don't have a color in my head to see. You're just telling me something, and I need to see the color in front of me.
Oh, well, I can't turn my... I need to pull it up there.
Yeah.
All right, next time
that would be really helpful.
She wasn't looking at... Or I could pull it up on my phone. Or you want to see it on my phone? Hold on.
All right, look at that wonderful sea, ocean, blah, 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 blah. Business going on out there without it just being,
blah.
like one thing. And the other thing is, sometimes I don't know till I play with it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And just because that's the way it worked for that situation, oh, well, gosh, that's really great. That is dusty pink. Thank you very much. Dusty pink.
I think somebody did actually say that in the chat. So you have
all you need to do is put a tiny spot. And if I'd seen that, I would have had more information.
Next time I will make sure that you have them.
Dirty pink is you just put drops of green in.
No.
Drops of green.
Maybe.
In the pink.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
How much?
Well, exactly. I mean, that's what
that's what we're talking about here.
That's what we're talking about. How much?
How much?
How much? That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at that.
Oh.
That's going to be a fabulous one going forward.
Yes. I love that. I like that orangey-ish color.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
I don't even know what that was. It was one of my mixtures.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, here we've got this crap color over here, and I do not like this.
This.
Well,
then do something over it. Just do it.
It's poopy. It's not interesting. It's just...
It makes you angry.
Makes me angry.
I see that.
I've got a little spot. I don't know where the hell that
Fix
came
it.
from.
Make you happy. Make you happy, Patricia.
Okay. Let's get some stuff on here. Boy, I'm gonna have to do a peel here.
Is it getting thick?
It's getting thick. Oh, we still have clearance there. That's what I worry about.
Yeah, clearance.
Clearance. Okay, so
on the tarmac. Because we're still at the airport.
Here we go. Mo. Green.
Those of you that are fans of the green, give us some green hearts in the chat. Would love to see all of that. Then I know who you are.
And then we'll do a little of this down at the bottom there. This is full strength.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not full strength, but it's full strength fluid.
Yeah. See, I knew Mo was going to drop those green hearts. I love it. I don't know what that emoji is, Darcy.
Let's get this into an interesting color range here.
Mm-hmm. SWL's fan of the green. Gray. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. Ooh. I love that. But see, you wouldn't have that unless you had the angry print first.
You're absolutely right, Mariah.
You really need to move through your anger.
I need to move through my anger.
Layer by layer.
Layer by layer. I'm just putting this over that pukey pink. What?
Mo says, whoop whoop for all the green meanies. There's lots of green.
Now look at that. That is just
turning I love that.
Something so cool.
Yes. And Cynthia's all in for purple.
Purple. That's what I need. Purple.
That's good. I love purple. I've decided that purple's kind of one of my most favorites. Like, I like purple. Becky loves purple. That's one of her favorites. Oh, yes.
Where those two meet, those two colors
yes.
meet, I mean, it makes my heart sing.
I'm telling you, we have books that are dedicated to this color combo. Books. we together. That's a happy place for us both. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I need something out in the middle just to give it a little extra oomphy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna bring in the airbrush medium added.
You got 4 minutes to be oomphy.
I'm gonna oomphy it out in the middle. Only.
She's gonna try to line it up.
Line it up to the middle there, so we don't have to do any guesstimations.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Well, it got a little pinky on the hoop-de-doo there, but that's all right.
That was some brayer contamination.
Brayer contamination.
This far into the stream, yeah.
Look at that. We need one more little band of
blue.
Now this is, I'm going to need to be kind of precise on that one.
Yeah, because your area is thinning. Mm-hmm. There you go. Don't wear out too much because you're starting to get the weird mix again. Did you get it? Oh, look at that. Well done. That's a
Izzy
good
would be so proud of me.
Would.
She's into rainbows. Oh, I guess
Mm-hmm.
y'all kind of figured that out.
She loves some rainbow. And she's like, she was telling me about because she tried out the new markers. She's like, I made a pastel rainbow. And I didn't touch the colors together, Mommy. Because she knew. I was like, keep the markers clean.
She did. And she was so cute because she was sorting the markers. She was putting them together in their appropriate, and she explained to me.
Yes, I know. I thought that was very interesting.
You know, I think that that's absolutely remarkable because one of the things that I found about children that made them successful at school was the ability to, number one, organize, number two, categorize. And she does both of those. She just automatically, naturally.
Those are my genetics.
Yeah, this would not. Yeah.
No, this one over here gets overwhelmed by it.
I'm easily overwhelmed. Okay, now I want to show you my brayer off because, see, this is how it all starts.
Mm-hmm. That is a lovely brayer off. That almost could just be where you cut that up and put it on one of your little cards and just put some stamping over it.
Absolutely.
Because that's pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good point. But I want to bring this one back and show because I don't think I left it in there very long. I'm going to put my plate away so I can.
Okay. Look at you juggling and spinning that plate and holding that ball in your mouth. And
Isn't this just absolutely a stunner?
Yes. And that was the one that you were being very mean with.
Yes, that was it.
Okay. So see, you know. There you go.
This is another one. Get those to go flat. There's another brayer off and pick up. This one is definitely.
Oh, I love that. You know I love that.
And I think this would be another good one to do. To just go ahead and cut it up into the little card size. This one actually has texture because this is where I wiped off my
oh yeah
palette knife. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And some of that actually stuck to the. Yeah, I'm not going to put something on top of that one.
It's still drying. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's this.
Which that can be another one. I think you should come back, glue down stuff, really let it dry because again, I think you would run into some similar situations.
Yeah,
because
now that this is lifted up there, and it's also the paper is very thin.
Yeah.
Because you've just ripped off a layer of, and I could glue down that end.
Or just lop off the pink part and
I could lop it right there.
yeah, and use that for the other.
Because
one.
this is really cool how this.
Yeah. Okay. We're past time.
Okay.
Thank y'all for hanging out. Well, we will be back here on Thursday. She's gonna do a long haul, and then I'm sure you'll see many of these, come back for some, time on the plate or whatever, cards or who's it, what's it. But we'll be up to some things. But yeah. Love you like a
long haul.
bye, guys.
Bye.